Jalen, obviously a hard-fought game. What was the message at halftime when you guys are down 16 that helped you get back and make it a game?
We felt like they brought it to us in the first half. Like, they're easily the most physical team that we've played so far, and I feel like we were a little bit taken back, and we just came out in the second half trying to punch them back. So,
Jalen, back here behind the cameras, it's another tough overtime loss for you guys here at Foster Pavilion. Kind of, what does that do for the team, and what's the mood in that locker room?
I mean, obviously it's hard. You put it all out there on the line for 45 minutes, I think it was. But it's good. There's good in it. Like, it's a lesson. You're playing all these tight, close overtime games now. So say we have one in the tournament, we're ready. We've been there before. We're not gonna break or bend.
Jacoby, the three was big for you guys, especially in the second half, to get you back in it. I mean, did you, feel like you were going to have a good game shooting the ball?
Yeah, first, I want to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, just for giving us the opportunity in front of a big crowd, a great environment, good team. But, I feel like the Lord just said today we all going to knock down threes. And I think we all came into that mindset with a clear mind and just knock down your shot. It's big shots. We do this all the time. So, yeah, it was more just like we were all level-headed and we just knocked down all our shots.
Jacoby, was it the ball movement that got better in that second half? I mean, like that first 5 minutes was really important, it seemed. And you all made a big dent. What was the emphasis there on the offensive end?
Push the pace. When we get stops, we're a hard team to beat. And I think we showed those first 5 minutes when we get stops and we get out running. We get into the paint, we move in the rock. It's pretty hard to stop us. So I think the message was just push the pace and then get into the paint because they were helping pretty hard on all of our drivers.
Jalen, end of regulation and overtime, it seemed like you were pretty emotional out there. What were you feeling?
You said overtime?
In regulation and overtime, it seemed like you had a lot of emotions out there.
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, you give it your all for 45 minutes, and I feel like it was an iffy call on a back tap on LJ, and it was crazy. But I mean, you can't really do nothing about it. I gotta do a better job handling my emotions. Be mature. I've been here before. It's not the first time I've got a bad call, so I gotta just move on quicker.
Jalen, obviously it's a little different seeing LJ in a different uniform, but it seems like you guys still give him a warm welcome in the greeting line, that kind of thing.
Nah, yeah, it's tough because it's at the end of the day it's a game, and the relationships that you build off the court go way deeper than anything you build on the court. So I'm just happy to see him happy and being successful, honestly.
Jacoby, obviously a quick turnaround. Go to Fort Worth on Monday. What do you have to do to, take these lessons from this one and go try to get a road win?
I think the biggest thing is we got to be tough and we got to be physical. We got to crash the glass. We got to defend, and then our offense always comes to us. And then it being that we lost to them last time, we definitely have a different mindset going into this game. We're trying to get revenge at their place.
Jacoby, y'all did a pretty good job bouncing back from that rebounding performance at BYU. What do you think was working well on the glass, and do you think kind of practice this week translated to today?
Definitely practice. Practice was rough as soon as we got back. We did a lot of physical rebounding drills. Coach was just beating into our head, like, we got to be more physical. Toughest team wins. We got to be tough. So it didn't matter how tired you were. I was a victim. But it didn't matter how tired you were. We just had to rebound over and over and over.
Jalen, I wasn't sure if you got hit in the eye or what on that one play. Was Scott trying to get you to come out, or were you wanting to go ahead and take the free throws?
Nah, I wear contacts, so I got hit in my eye and like it ended up ripping my contact in half. So it was just burning like crazy. I really couldn't keep my eye open. And he was just asking me if like I could shoot the free throws, and I was like, I mean, I can't really see, but free throws are kind of just muscle memory. So I was like, I'll shoot them. Screw it.
You didn't have any extras?
Nah, I had an extra, but it was just in the heat of the moment. Then it was like regulation. Dave came up to me with the other contact. I was like, it's 17 seconds left. And then I just didn't even care by the time overtime came.
Was it like that LeBron moment where you see 3 rims?
Nah, it was just, I saw the rim in this eye, and then it was like this eye was just straight blurred. Like I couldn't see nothing. It was bad.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate y'all.
No, I thought it was a great game for CBS as far as atmosphere was tremendous. I want to thank the crowd for helping us fight back in its second half. And God's given us a great platform in the Big 12. And first half, we were all embarrassed how we played, how we competed. But coming off a BYU game where we were embarrassed on the glass 20-4, to come back and play Baylor basketball, 14-9 second chance points, out rebound Houston 37-29. Proud about that and being able to get 50-50 balls that we didn't get at BYU. So as a coach, proud of the effort, disappointed with the execution this first 20 minutes. I think Coach Sampson, unbelievable coach, does a great job. And one thing all coaches know is the importance of having guys that have been in your program 3, 4, 5 years, and he's got a team full of that. And they don't give you anything. They're like him. They fight you on everything. So there's a reason they're number 1, number 2 in the nation.
Scott, first half, I mean, there were times it looked like Houston had 6 guys out there. The way they, scrambled to the ball handler or whatever. What did y'all do to start off that second half so hot?
Well, making shots shouldn't dictate how you do defensively, but when you hold them at 33%, second half, it gets you in transition. And when you get in transition, you're able to get some easier buckets. And when you get some easier buckets, you're able to get some confidence. And then you get the crowd involved. Then you get momentum, and it all kind of snowballs. And unfortunately, we couldn't get any of that first half. So their pressure bothered us. We turned it over. When we had some really good looks, we didn't make them. We didn't get enough second chance opportunities. In second half, I think the game slowed down for us a little bit. And we handled the pressure much better, got a lot more confidence, and tightened the rotation. Only played 6 in the second half, and those guys really competed.
Coach, not just Eves having a kind of a little tougher game, but it seems like overall, especially in the first half, kind of trouble finishing, right next to the rim. What was Houston kind of doing just to kind of make it so tough?
Houston is unbelievably physical, and that's not in a demeaning way. It's a compliment. Like, everything is challenged, contested. That comes from a lot of guys that are in their 3rd, 4th, 5th year with Coach Sampson. And you get guys that, like our championship team, guys in the program for 3, 4, 5 years. They're an extension of the coach out there, and just nothing's easy. And I mean, Eve's first year in our program, Jaden's first year, Coe's first year, Ray J's first year, Josh's second year, Miro's first year. I mean, you got a lot of guys that haven't been in those moments, haven't faced that pressure before, and and it showed in the first 20 minutes. I thought second 20 minutes we showed what we're capable of, and then in the overtime, I mean, we had some layups, we had dunk opportunities, and ball just came out of our hands, and that happens in games. That's where you got to defend and rebound in those situations. I mean, we made 82% of our free throws. We needed 84.
What were you hoping you could do with the zone? You jumped into zone for a little bit. They had some success kind of getting it behind you there on the baseline. What were you looking to do to try to kind of slow them down?
Well, I think our zone is a defense that has helped us in games, and I mean, it's like a pitcher. If your fastball's not working, you're going to your curve, and with us, we got a couple pitches, and against a good team, it's hard to throw the same stuff over and over, and our man defense was a little soft in the beginning of the game, and the zone played it at a slower pace. I mean, second half especially, I thought we really contested and didn't give them a lot of good looks. And down the stretch, I mean, you got to credit Houston. I think there were 3 shots they took that we would have been like, that's a great defensive possession. A great defensive possession, and the ball goes in, and that's the difference. On the other end, you might have a wide open shot and miss, and they got a really contested shot they make, and you're like, crap.
Scott, obviously it'd be a little strange to see LJ in a different uniform. What did y'all try to do to defend him?
I mean, LJ's a great player and helped us win a national championship, a couple conference championships, and especially in the zone, we just had to make sure we were aware of where he was at. In man, they do a lot of good things to get him the ball, and I thought we did a pretty good job. I mean, you hold him to 8 shots, you feel pretty good with that. Want to keep him off the line. 6 free throws is way too many, but the 8 shots you'd feel really good with as a coach.
With a quick turnaround coming Monday in the TCU game, do you like that the fact that maybe
No, we want a week off. We want to get everybody rested. We want to get everybody healthy. And I mean, I think I don't know if it's the way things are shaping out, but a lot of teams are only playing 6, 7, 8 guys. And I mean, Langston's injury is a big deal. I mean, you take Shed out, that's their leading scorer in conference. That changes things, and we got to get him healthy. So that's first and foremost.
What'd you do in practice to get that rebounding like you wanted? I mean, it seemed like the guys have all been commenting, said that was a pretty rough practice, and maybe there's some football stuff involved.
Well, I think at the end of the day, the most important thing is we really have a good group of guys. And at the end of the day, they care about Baylor. They care about winning. They care about being good teammates. And as a coach, the toughest thing is to go to bed at night when you have a team that doesn't care as much as you care. And if you have a team that cares in the same ballpark, you're really blessed. And our staff's done a great job bringing in quality young men. So the practice was a good practice because we fixed an area that needed to be fixed. And all season long, we went into the BYU game. We were 3rd in conference stats only, and that's what you really got to use at this point, offense and defensive rebounding. So one of our best rebounding teams in the league. And we didn't show up on 50-50 balls or rebounds. And today we did, and we have most of conference, and that's just a given. If you don't do that, you don't even give yourself a chance. But I say all that to say they cared about that. They were disappointed with their effort. And if a player's disappointed, they put in the work to get better. And Eve was torn up about the free throw, and the guys did a great job condoling because he made a tough bucket. And if he didn't make the bucket, we don't have overtime. And at the end of the day, he's put in a ton of work and is such a better free throw shooter because of that. But guys that care, man, you're blessed as a coach to have that, and we have that.
Scott, a couple people kind of showed up in those late stages, Ray J, Jalen, Jacoby especially. How confident does that make you feel going forward that you have multiple guys that can step up in those.
Well, I think there's always a blessing when during the year different guys with injuries, illness have a chance to step up, and I think Jaden has really been consistent in what he's done. I mean, 5 assists, 0 turnovers with the pressure today. That's really a great growth from him, and. I think when Langston's back, and if it's Monday, if it's the following week, I mean, we'll be a better team. And it takes a little time to get back integrated, but that's something that we've had some guys step forward